Hi, I am Duncan. I'm a corporate trainer and founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. To God be the glory, it's been 4 years since I quit my job so I can focus on my own business, one of them being the Fabulous Woman Network. Since it's been 4 years and in celebration, I thought why not, share a little bit about the journey and lessons I've learned. So in my book, Yarns of Inspiration, I actually did write about the story. It's part of the stories I shared there. So I just want to read a little bit of that portion and also share the lessons that I have got since that journey began. I've got my notes on my laptop, so you see me referring here. Please, I am recording this video from home, so if you hear any noise, it's either my kids, whom I've asked to be quite nice, and or it could also be the birds chirping out there, just saying hello, hey, we are here. So please indulge me. I've got my cup of tea as well because I love tea. I'm a tea kind of girl. So I'm going to read from my book, Yarns of Inspiration, which is available on Amazon, or you can reach out if you're in Ghana and you want copies as well. I'm going to read page 67. The title is Think, Pray, Eat Jollof, and Move. I'll read a bit of that, and when I'm done, I will add the lessons I have learned from this. Right. Think, pray, eat jollof, and move. Amma, I need your help. I need to move out of my current job. It doesn't even matter if I am paid half of what I earn currently. I just need enough to get by. My family and I will be fine. And most importantly, I will get to spend more time with my family. Amma, you need to help me. This was a distress call I recently received from a friend. He went on and on trying to let me understand why he needed to leave his current job. I told him, "Don't worry, I understand you perfectly." Coincidentally, this call came at a time when I was preparing to give my first ever TEDx talk, which was a TEDx Edu, on the quest to escape my corporate trap. What my friend did not know was that I had also quit my job, but for a different reason. Have you ever been caught in a trap so tight you wanted to wiggle out but couldn't? I would like to tell you how I was able to get out of my corporate trap, with the hope that this story will inspire you to free yourself from whatever kind of trap you find yourself in. If anyone had told me a year ago that I would quit my job and focus on my own business full time, I would have laughed. You see, one of my biggest fears is the fear of being completely flat bottom broke. And for this reason, I have worked since I was in the university because for me, working has been the only way to make money. I had a decent monthly income, which was extremely important, even though it was never enough for me. I love the security it gave me because no matter what, I knew I would get paid at the end of the month. I was employed by a four-star hotel as a learning and development manager. Apart from my salary, I had some really nice perks like medical insurance for my family and free lunch. It was a respectable position and I got to network with some of the industry's top bosses. As is normal practice for most organizations, our salaries were reviewed at the beginning of each year, and I was very much aware that that year's increment, this is 2016, was going to be extraordinary. In fact, it was actually increased by over 50%, but by then I had already resigned. I am sure you are asking yourself, what was I thinking? Why on earth did I quit just when my job was about to get sweeter? The answer is simple. I felt it was time and it was the right thing to do. You see, I had been at my job for 8 years. Initially, it was an amazing and challenging experience. There was something new to learn every day. I even had the opportunity to lead my department for a couple of years. However, after 4 years, I could literally close my eyes and do my job. The organization was still a great place to work at, with really nice people who had become like family to me. But clearly, I had become too comfortable and had very little challenge. I knew it was time to move. As I prepared to quit my job, I thought about my options: to search for a new job or to start my own business. While the former was not too appealing to me, the latter was an occasional fantasy. I would sometimes imagine what it would be like to run my own organization, but I never had a clear picture of what I would be doing. Every time the idea of running my own business came up, I would simply dismiss it, unwilling to explore it further. The fact was, I was terrified. I had never run a serious business before. What if it failed and I actually became completely flat bottom broke? I still had financial responsibilities at home. Surely I couldn't be that selfish and risk everything to pursue a dream that was not even clear. Besides, what was I good at anyway? Who would consult me to do anything for them? I allowed fear and self doubt to stop me from even considering self employment, let alone entrepreneurship. Instead, I enrolled in an MBA course. The MBA was my excuse to say to people who cared enough to ask why I was marking time, "Oh, I am currently doing an MBA. It is stressful enough combining that with my life and as a young mother, blah, blah, blah." Well, after 2 years, I was done with the MBA. I had my second degree. Now what? I still had not figured out my next move, even though I had a burning desire to move out of my comfort zone. Interestingly, requests for my professional help intensified as I networked more with people who found out that I was a corporate trainer. I would occasionally get invitations to speak to different groups on customer service, personal branding, etc. This was when it finally dawned on me that I had a business opportunity. I say finally because a number of very important people in my life, including my husband, has suggested this to me, but I always dismissed it. In 2015, I registered my first business called Corporate Training Solutions with the primary objective of helping our clients increase their productivity through our training and development activities. I was still working full-time then, and so I could not take on some contracts due to conflict of interest. There were good businesses that I had to pass on to other consultants because I was unable to handle them. Also, I didn't take the idea of growing my own business to the point of being completely financially independent seriously. However, the urge to quit my job continued to grow stronger by the day, and yet I was not sure what I was going to do next. During that period, I got wind of a job opportunity, so I decided to give it a shot. I knew from day one that I could not take the job offer for personal reasons, but I convinced myself that I needed to sit on the other side of an interview session for a change. I needed the experience of being interviewed just in case I had to actively start looking for a new job. The interview went so well that we ended up chatting. Now, as I look back, I wonder if my confidence was due to the fact that I did not really want the job and was only there out of curiosity. In the end, I was offered the job, but I had to turn it down. In 2015, I founded the Fabulous Woman Network. This literally jolted me back to life. I was so consumed with writing about women, interviewing women, and organizing events to celebrate, develop, and inspire women everywhere. That was all I could think of. I was suddenly alive again, happy. One time someone asked me, "Amma, do you get paid for the work you do for the Fabulous Woman Network?" With a smile, I responded, "No." She shook her head and gave up on me. I was so passionate about celebrating, developing, and inspiring women through our activities that I did not even care if I wasn't getting paid for it. By then, I was still hanging on to my full time job. It was not demanding, but it deserved my attention as I was being paid, and frankly, I could not continue with it. Because my zeal had died, I knew my work was done and it was definitely time to move on. However, there was one burning question. How was I going to make money after I had quit my job? Remember, I had always needed the security of being paid at the end of every month. In fact, the more I thought of the idea of quitting, the more I asked myself, Amma, are you okay? Why in the world would you want to risk everything you have for something you do not even know is there? Obviously, the money I was making from corporate training was not enough because I never advertised. I realized that I needed help. Otherwise, I was going to dilly dally forever and keep postponing my final date of resignation. Here's what I did. I spoke to a few people I knew who had been there and had done that. They all gave very helpful advice on the various options I had at my disposal. One of them, Yawa Hansen Kwao, is actually a coach. She asked me, "What is your monetization plan?" I had none, even though I needed one badly. She gave me an assignment to come up with a strategy. Yawa was really helpful in that she introduced me to some amazing networks as well as guide me through drafting a winning strategy. I scribbled my first draft down and asked God to give me a sign before I did anything. I was really desperate with a burning desire to quit my job. I needed to be absolutely sure that God was the one asking me to leave because, as a child of God, I know with Him in my boots, I will smile through the rain, sunshine, and the storm. One day, I followed my husband on a trip so that while he was in meetings, I could spend time alone to pray and think away from my children. I prayed, I thought, and I ate jollof. By evening, I had made my decision and finalized my strategy. I had a discussion with my husband when he returned, and I was fortunate to have his support. Bless him. When I returned to work, I finally did the right thing. I tendered in my resignation. Trust me, it felt so good. To make things a bit more interesting, 2 days before my last day of work, as I was getting ready to hand over, I received a call from an unknown number. In fact, I wanted to ignore the call, but I realized the same number had called my other mobile line earlier. I thought, this must be important. Apparently, the caller was the human resources director of a five-star hotel, an international brand. She informed me about a vacancy which was literally to die for and asked if I was interested. What would you have done if this were you? Well, I humbly declined because I finally knew what I wanted or what I needed to do, and getting another job was not going to help my strategy at this time. You see, I needed freedom to control what I did with my time. I needed to be able to move around to market my brand on and off air. I needed to be available to attend some of the exciting events home and away. Working for someone else 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day gave me very little extra time to do these. I could not leave one job just to jump into another, even if the salary was way more than I was getting at my old job. One of the most important parts of my strategy is continuous personal development. Like I said, I have never run a serious business before, unless selling cocoa drink and tangerine when I was a child counts. Thus, I am always on the lookout for opportunities to learn. If there is a seminar on entrepreneurship or leadership, count me in. If there is a book, please, I want it. In fact, a friend was kind enough to send me an amazing book, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. Another fabulous sister from another mother, Rosalind Abigail Trenati, also told me about Yali, That's the Young African Leaders Initiative leadership course. I quickly applied and got accepted. The experience I had, well, I will share it at another time. But I can tell you this for now. It was definitely worth the 5 weeks away from my family. To God be the glory. Now I have two businesses, one and one quiet one. Corporate Training Solutions focuses on helping organizations improve their productivity by training and developing their employees. My team and I have trained over 600 participants as of December 2016 from various organizations on customer service skills. This is where we make money to put food on the table as well as fund the activities of the Fabulous Woman Network, my second baby. I'm going to end here. If you want to know the rest, you can get my book off of Amazon or you can reach out to me. And then now I want to share 3 of the key lessons I have learned. In fact, in my notes book, I've written so many lessons, but I just thought, you know what, let me not be long. Let me just share a few of the lessons. The first one, and I think the most important one, really, is God will really take care of you. Like, seriously, this is not cliche. God will really take care of you. I remember just around the time I was getting ready to quit, a very good friend, well, he's more like a brother. I've known Ambrose since I was a child. He sent me a song, God Will Take Care of You. I don't know why he sent it. I don't think he even knew what I was going through at the time. But I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. As I kept listening to this song over and over again, I believed. And it has really been God from day one. I get businesses that I don't even know the source, like it's crazy. This is not the time to share that, but I just want you to know that if there's a trap you find yourself in, maybe it's in a bad marriage, a bad job, a bad business, whatever, and you want to get out of it, trust that God will really take care of you. That is the first point. The second point, very important, please be humble and learn from others. I have learned from so many people. Marilyn Owusu of Ace Consults, she's been a blessing. Joseph Che Ankra of Bridge of Hope, amazing. So many other people. Some it's through their books, others I have had one-on-one encounters with them. They've been amazing to me. They've advised me and they've helped me through this journey, and they still continue to help me. So I believe in humbling myself and learning. Sometimes I'm a bit stubborn, but I'm a work in progress. The final one, and one of the most important as well, is to network. Network, and form strategic partnerships. Everything we want to do, others have done it already, and they know the ins and outs, number one. Number two, it is people that connect us to business. Look, every job I've ever had in my lifetime and every business I've ever had since I became a social entrepreneur, it was somebody who told me about it through my network. I am so passionate about networking that I wrote this book, this cutie book called Networking Made Easy. It's available on Amazon as well. You can also reach out to us and get your copy. It's a simple book. I wrote it out of a passion to just teach people that, hey, networking is not really out of this world. It's so simple and you can do it. And I'm even happy to announce that I have just designed a course on networking. It's called Networking Made Easy. I've been teaching this course face to face, but it's now available online and I'm going to be launching it shortly as well. So these are the 3 key lessons that I feel that there are many more, but I just want to limit it to these so my video can stay within 20 minutes. God will really take care of you. Be humble and learn from others. Network and form strategic partners. These are the things that I believe can help you, among others as well. You can find out more about what I do at amaduncan.com. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope this 20 minutes you've spent with me has been of value to you. Have a great day. Bye.